Sure that you
добрый
can
день,
hear
мы вас
us.
слышим, МГТУ имени Баумана.
Yes, we can hear
Сергей
you.
Валерьевич, добрый день.
Добрый день, это
Сергей
Yifan
Валерьевич,
Сергей Валерьевич.
good morning.
Хотим убедиться, наши коллеги из
So
Китая
our
слышат ли
colleagues
нашу
from
речь на английском
China,
языке.
can you hear us
Ну, мы на
in
русском
English
канале
language?
сейчас, мы на русском канале.
We're in a Russian channel. Do our friends from China, can you hear us? Please turn on the English channel.
Коллеги, как нас слышно на английском
Can you
языке?
hear us in English language?
Так, что-то тишина. 李老师，能听见吗？英文翻译你们能听见吗？
Пока на китайском.
Can you hear the English translation right now?
Да, теперь слышим английский перевод. Слышим английский перевод.
This is the English channel. Can you hear it?
Yes, thank you very much.
Все, большое спасибо. У нас 5-минутная готовность, коллеги.
Есть, принято.
各位中方的参会老师，此次会议俄方设了传译频道，各位老师可以看一下，下面有一个传译功能，有俄语频道和英语频道，咱们中方的参会老师就调到英语频道就可以。
顾老师好。
哎，李老师你好，李老
顾老师好，
师，
你好，
看
很高
见你了，
兴见到你。
李老师，你好，你好，
非常高兴。
怎么样？最近挺好的吧？
挺好的。我现在在大连。
我刚从杭州回来，也在居家隔离呢，居家隔离呢。参加那个教育部有个评审工作，质量认证，来把质量认证评审工作，回来就是这疫情又开始了，很麻烦。
现在也开始了。
挺好的，李老师。
挺好的，挺好的。现在可能要开始了。校长好。
好。校长，多里，
校长
看你。不说了。
Добрый день, hello.
Hello.
你好。
Hi, President. How are you?
Just fine, but these days is very busy.
Yeah, I know.
Very more sections.
Yeah.
好，我们开始。
Добрый день, уважаемые коллеги.
Good afternoon, dear colleagues, dear friends. We are starting the plenary session of the Second Forum of Association of Sino-Russian Technical Universities. And our plenary session is going to be hosted by me, Dmitry FILIPPOV, Dean of Car and Road Faculty of Northeastern Federal University. And allow me to introduce my co-moderator, Yifan, Professor, Harbin Technical University. And to open the second forum, I give the floor to our rector of Northeastern Federal University, Anatoly Nikolaev. Dear Sergey Valeryevich, dear Go Sanjan, dear participants of the forum, I welcome you on behalf of the Ammosov Northeastern Federal University and the organizing committee of the 4th Northern Sustainable Development Forum, within the frames of which we are having this event. I'm very glad to see that the Arctic Research Forum is becoming part of the research agenda of our association, and now we're opening the second forum. And I would like to say that our university is a member of ASRTU since 2015, and within the association, NEFU is one of the coordinators of Russian-Chinese inter-university cooperation in the field of Arctic research. In 2018, at our university, we had a meeting of the association, and we had the first forum of the association on Arctic research, which gathered many leading experts and specialists on the Arctic from leading universities of Russia and China. And it is not an overstatement to say that thanks to our activity and our events, in March 2021, we got the honor of becoming the co-chair university of the association from Russia in 2021-2023. And I think that this second forum on Arctic research is part of the larger Northern Sustainable Development Forum. And it is part of the official agenda of the Russian chairmanship in the Arctic Council. And we are organizing this together with the Northern Forum for the 4th time and with the government of Sakha-Yakutia. And this forum is a well-known international venue for expert meeting in order to promote the sustainable development goals of northern countries and regions, interregional and international cooperation for balanced development of the North. And our association within the Northern Forum shows that the leadership of our country, region, and university pays a great deal of attention to the development of the Arctic. The years of the pandemic and the unstable international situation shows the necessity of international cooperation, but our partnership with Chinese partners, with our Chinese colleagues, still endures and is still developing thanks to the work of both our colleagues and our university. Of course, it is regrettable that we have to hold our forum online due to the pandemic restrictions, but we hope that next year we will be able to meet each other face to face and share our experiences, ideas, and projects, getting the strategic relationship between our countries to a whole new level. And using this occasion, I invite you all to take an active part in all our events and programs within our association, which are going to take place tomorrow during the section meetings. And I would like to thank all the participants for their interest and to invite everyone for cooperation. The doors of our university are always open for you, and we are always ready for fruitful dialogue. Thank you. Thank you very much, Anatoly Nikolaev, for these warm greetings. And our next speaker is Sergei Korshunov, Executive Director of the Association from the Russian side, Vice Rector of Bauman University of Moscow.
Уважаемые коллеги, дорогие товарищи,
Good afternoon, dear colleagues, dear friends.
Российской постоянной дирекции Ассоциации
On behalf of the association of our university,
от имени МГТУ, имени
on
Баумана,
behalf of the Bauman State Technical University,
я сердечно приветствую организаторов, участников второго форума Ассоциации.
I would like to greet all the participants of the second forum.
Также мы рады, что в работе форума примут многие ученые, преподаватели из вузов, членов АТУРКа.
I'm also very glad to see among the participants of the association all the colleagues from China.
Федерального университета имени Ammosov, которые принимают участие в этом форуме.
I'm very glad that you're participating in this forum and the association.
В первую очередь, мне хотелось бы выразить благодарность искреннюю.
First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to Anatoly Nikolaev, to the rector of the Northeastern Federal University, for his efforts on holding the forum that the university took upon it. In our association, from the very beginning, we created territorial cooperation. In Russia, we have 3 departments: Western, Ural, and Far Eastern departments. In China, there are 2 departments, Southern and Northern departments of our association.
В последнее время мы задумали и организуем профессиональные
Lately, we've decided to create a professional department.
По первым из них явилось такое аэрокосмическое отделение.
The first one is Air Cosmic Department,
в котором выполняются работы по совместному малому студенческому российско-китайскому спутнику.
which conducts research on satellite students research.
У нас создаются отделения по IT-технологиям, по искусственному интеллекту.
We also hold research on AI, artificial intelligence.
Очень интересное отделение архитектурно-строительное. И нами задуман проект такой архитектуры зданий наших вузов, членов ассоциации.
And we're also planning an architectural and building department that is conducted within our universities.
Мы рассчитываем в следующем году издать и книгу, и сделать выставку.
Next year, we're hoping to release a book on architectural specifics of the buildings of our university.
У нас работает отделение по зеленой энергетике.
We also hold green energy departments,
По робототехнике.
robotics.
И учитывая, что
And taking into consideration that nowadays it's very topical to hold research on the Arctic development,
расширение, развитие Северного морского пути.
expanding this Northern Sea route.
Огромное значение для экономики, мы это видим, имеют запасы природных ресурсов, которыми богата арктическая сфера.
The great importance lays in the natural resources deposits that are in the Arctic.
И мы рассчитываем на Северо-Восточный федеральный университет, Анатолий Николаевич, на вас, вот в том, чтобы создать и продвигать деятельность отделения.
And we hope that the Northeastern Federal University, represented by Anatoly Nikolaevich, will support our research on the Arctic.
Интерес у российских вузов, у наших китайских партнеров, наших китайских друзей к этой области, к этой сфере деятельности очень большой.
And I know that our Chinese partners also hold a greatest interest in this area.
И мы совместными усилиями будем развивать и северный шелковый путь.
And with our joint efforts, we will be developing Northern Silk Route together.
Я думаю, что сегодняшний форум, там много интересных докладов научных, мы посмотрели содержание. Этот форум будет таким
And I hope that this forum will become a very productive step to create the Arctic department of our association.
И вообще формирование и выполнение совместных научных исследований.
It will help us to form joint cooperation with our Chinese colleagues.
Вы знаете, последние годы непростые в жизни.
You know, last years are very challenging.
И в целом в мире пандемия коронавируса.
In the world, due to the pandemic.
И, конечно, пандемия нанесла большой урон нашим контактам, безусловно.
And of course, the pandemic has threatened our cooperation, of course.
Но я должен сказать с большой благодарностью и к нашим китайским друзьям, и к преподавателям, ученым наших российских вузов.
However, I am very grateful to our Chinese partners and colleagues from Russian universities.
За то, что в эти трудные годы изоляции мы поддерживали очень тесные связи, мы развивали наши
for keeping in touch, for conducting joint research, holding conferences together.
Мы формировали научные исследования, рос обмен студентами, несмотря ни на что.
We had the students exchange despite everything.
И мы чувствовали в эти годы взаимную поддержку со стороны китайских наших друзей.
And we've been feeling great support from Chinese colleagues.
Дружба ведь она познается в беде.
You know, friendship is found in challenges.
И в эти годы мы только стали ближе друг к другу и в области развития образования, и в области научных исследований, в гуманитарной сфере, и чисто в человеческих отношениях.
And over these years, we've managed to strengthen our relationship in education, in research, and even in personal relationships.
Мы переживаем вот за те или иные вот обострения коронавируса в китайских городах. Мы сочувствуем и, конечно, вместе с нашими китайскими друзьями.
We feel sorry that in China the pandemic is still ongoing, that you have to go through all the troubles.
И мы с нетерпением будем ждать окончания пандемии и возможности вновь встречаться в России, в Москве, в Екатеринбурге, в Якутске, в этом замечательном, интересном городе, в китайских вузах и городах.
And we're looking forward to for its end, so that we will be able to see you in person in Russian cities, Moscow, Yekaterinburg, Yakutsk, and in Chinese universities too.
Это обязательно наступит. Мы в это свято верим, и мы ждем этого момента наших новых встреч, когда мы можем обнять друг друга, пожать наши руки и вместе работать.
I'm sure this time will come and we will be able to handshake, to hug each other, to see each other in person.
Я очень рад видеть нашего большого друга Гу Джанжэня.
I'm very happy to see our big friend Gung Chanzhen.
Мы много сделали за эти годы.
We've made a lot over these years.
У нас очень большие планы.
We have great plans.
Недавно я познакомился и рад поприветствовать Нургуна Романовича Максимова в студии.
I'm also very happy to see Nurgun Maximov, who I met recently.
Мы познакомились на площадке Общества российско-китайской дружбы.
We met each other on the platform of Chinese-Russian friendship.
Этому обществу, которое было первое в Советском Союзе, общество дружбы с зарубежными странами, в этом году исполняется 65 лет.
This society of Chinese-Russian friendship is turning 65 years this year.
И в этом обществе мы проводим очень большую работу, и наши усилия надо объединять. Усилия Ассоциации технических университетов России и Китая, Общества российско-китайской дружбы.
And within this society, we need to strengthen our relationship and partnership.
Мы проводили грандиозные собрания, концерты в честь столетия Компартии Китая.
We had great concerts to celebrate Communistic Party of China.
У нас было специальное заседание по 20-му съезду Китайской Компартии.
We had a special meeting on the dedicated to the 20th meeting of Communist Party of China.
Я желаю всем участникам форума хорошего здоровья, в первую очередь.
And I would like to wish, first of all the participants of the forum great health.
Больших успехов в научной и образовательной деятельности.
And big successes in your academic and research activities.
И благополучие в семьях, чтобы все было замечательно в наших семьях.
And well-being for your families, so that they are happy and everything is great.
Больших успехов всем участникам форума.
And I hope all the participants of the forum will have very fruitful discussions.
Okay, thank you, Professor Kochanov, for your wonderful speech. Now, let's warmly welcome Professor Gu Jianzhen. He is a director of us to permanent directories for the Chinese part. Please, Professor Gu.
Hi, dear old friends, distinguished guests, leaders and experts, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and good afternoon. Glad to meet you here online. First, on behalf of the Chinese Permanent Secretariat of Association of Sino-Russian Technical Universities, ASRTU, let me extend my most warm welcome to all the leaders and the Russian Chinese experts on this event. I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to all the colleagues of Northeastern Federal University who well prepared this forum. The first Arctic Research Forum of ASRTU was successfully held in 2018 at Northeastern Federal University in Yakutsk. Almost 100 students and faculty members from 22 Russian and Chinese universities of ASRTU gathered together. The experts from both sides discussed important cutting-edge issues, including environmental programs and protecting the environment in the Arctic regions, civil structure construction in cold and permafrost regions, and the impact of frozen soil and polar ice on offshore engineering structures, which had yielded fruitful results. In the Snow and Ice November, for this 4-year engagement, we are meeting online for the long-awaited second Arctic Research Forum of ASRTU. The forum will discuss the existing problems and opportunities for further developing Sino-Russian scientific and educational cooperation in the Arctic field, according to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. It will also stressing the collaboration between the universities in ASRTU. I believe that this forum will greatly promote academic exchange, scientific research cooperation, and personnel training between Russian and Chinese universities of ASRTU in the Arctic field. At the same time, it will provide solutions and strengths for the ice silk road between the two countries. Finally, I wish this forum a great success. I hope the Russian and Chinese experts succeed in working with health and happiness. Thank you. Atul Ula.
Thank you, Professor Gu. Thank you for your great talk. Now let's start our plenary session. And Professor Dmitry Both are honored to chair this session. Okay, I would like to ask Professor Maximov Luka Romanovich for the first speech. Please, Professor Maximov.
Уважаемый Yifan, спасибо за помощь в модерации. Ну и коллеги.
Dear Liu Sang, thank you so much for your help. And I would like to remind you that the celebration of the opening ceremony will end with joint photo session. So I would like all our participants to turn your cameras on for a photo shoot. We can see that you are turning your cameras on.
Дорогие друзья, нас становится все
Dear
больше.
friends, I can see more of you. So please take a seat next to me. Okay. So we would like to ask the technical services to make a screenshot and to take a picture of everyone who is present both offline and online. Thank you very much. So I announce the forum open, and as the Professor Li Yifan suggested, we would like to proceed with the main agenda of our forum. The floor is given to Nurgun Maksimov, the first to present, Department Director, Vice Director for International Cooperation, Northeastern Federal University. The topic of his report is the initiative of the Northeastern Federal University for International Cooperation on Arctic Research. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, dear participants of the forum, of the plenary session. On the second forum of Sino-Russian Technical University, it is a great honor for me to be the first to present. And let me introduce my report on initiatives of the Northeastern Federal University for International Cooperation on the Arctic Research. As Mr. Nikolaev, the rector, has mentioned, this is the second time when we hold our forum, and I'm happy that we hold this event in the frameworks of the bigger Northern Sustainable Development Forum. This forum is held annually. This is the fourth time we hold it, and the main topic of the forum is energy of the Arctic, new challenges, new solutions, and new technologies. Traditionally, in the framework of this forum, we have a lot of Chinese colleagues, and that is why we're holding this forum of the association. I would like to tell you about our university a little bit. We have many participants of the forum, so that's why I would like to present our university first of all. So I'd like to show you where our university is on the map of geostrategic territories. You can see on your screens there are logos of our university. The main campus is in Yakutsk, which is the biggest northern city in Russia. And you can also see our three branches in Chukotka, Nerungi, and Mirny. The zone with stripes is the zone of our university influence. We are responsible for complex development of the Russian Northeast, which includes, as you can see in dark blue, this is Arctic zone of Russia, and light blue is the Asian part. And talking about our university, we need to mention the main points of our university. As I said before, our university is a complex university. We have almost 20,000 students, more than 1.5 teachers and professors, and we have more than 1,100 foreign students. We have around 20 educational departments, institute faculties, and 5 research institutes. The main directions of our university are within the vectors of positioning that include Arctic vector and Asian vector. As I said before, the Arctic agenda of the university holds a plays important role when preparing new people for this program. We always systematize educational programs of the Arctic direction. We renew Arctic agenda. We expand the possibilities and the opportunities for Arctic development. We're also very active in cooperation within the Arctic Asian vector, and we also create teams to renew the system of our university. And over the last year, we have seen a narrowing in international cooperation in the Arctic. Unfortunately, we lost some important scientific connections from the unfriendly countries, and that has formed a big challenge for our university. And as for the strategy of the university, we have so-called Asian turn in the Arctic agenda. And we have been initiating cooperation and connections with our educational centers and partners in Asian countries. And a big role is played by China, of course. And before I tell you about our initiatives, I would like to go through our main Arctic topics of our direction. You can see them on your screens. First of all, of course, it's developing the Arctic. It's genetics and paleogenetics. It's the northern ecology, climatology and permafrost studies, energy effective technologies in the north, Arctic material and technologies, human health, mathematic modeling and hybrid intelligence, social processes in the north, and language and cultural diversity. These are the main directions of implementing scientific projects of our university. And we encourage our Chinese colleagues and Russian colleagues to participate in joint projects within these directions. It goes without saying that since 2021, our university has been one of the participants of the Educational Academic Center North, the Territory for Sustainable Development. This project, this is a joint project of the Sahara Republic, Chukotka, Kamchatka, Magadan, and Sakhalin Oblast. Within this center, we've conducted transfer of technologies and the main directions of this center are also presented in this slide. And as for the questions of international cooperation, we need to mention the cooperation on prioritized scientific directions. And here, of course, we pay a lot of attention to our participation in the association of the Sino-Russian technical universities, where our leaders have already mentioned. Our university is coordinating a complex of different issues related to the Arctic research. Sergei Valerievich Korshunov has just mentioned the importance of joint efforts, and we are ready to become one of the joining universities that in the Arctic research to bring together consortiums, resources where our university plays an important role. And I would like to notice that on the initiatives of this year, our university has been initiator of creating a new consortium dedicated to the Arctic research that brings together two vectors, our university and its international cooperation, Asian and Arctic directions. We held several events within this consortium, and I need to say that we have managed to bring together more than 10 Russian universities from the Arctic regions of Russia to promote joint projects in the Chinese, among the Chinese colleagues. And I need to say that Chinese direction is our priority, and we're hoping that we will have a lot of prospects on our cooperation. And I would like to suggest to you that in spring next year, as Mr. Korshunov has mentioned, the initiation of a new department for Arctic research, we would like to suggest you that in spring next year, we hold a Russian-Chinese roundtable dedicated to Arctic collaboration, where our association could be one of the organizers. And I have just mentioned that under the aegis of the consortium, we have managed to bring together the most respected resources in education in the Arctic. That will be more than 10 universities and colleges and research institutes. All of them are mentioned in the slide. And since most of them are not the participants or observers of the association yet, we are ready to be a key chain between them. And of course, in our forum, I would like to mention several projects that we have been working on with our Chinese colleagues. Most of them are implemented in collaboration with Association of Sino-Russian Universities, and our main partner is Harbin Technical University. That will be the forum that we're holding today. There will be joint research on environment and ecosystem research that we have been implementing with Harbin Polytechnic University. And I hope today our Professor Yifan will tell us more about it. We have been holding complex research on the Asian part and Arctic environment with Harbin Polytechnic Universities, and we have conducted a complex analysis our traditional event that we hold, that will be International Arctic Summer and Winter Schools, that will hold together with Harbin Polytechnic University and Oceanology University of China. We're also working on creating new joint educational programs on building and biology. And to conclude my speech, I would like to present to you strategic projects of our university. As Mr. Rector has mentioned before, our university, from last year, our university has been a participant of strategic projects priority 2030. And within this project, our university is creating 3 main projects. The first project is dedicated to sustainable development of the Arctic. It is on Arctic material and technologies. And I hope that when this project is implemented, our university will hold leading positions in the Arctic materials. The second project is dedicated to living systems of the North. Within this project, we have been collaborating with a team of Yifan from Harbin Polytechnic University. This project is aimed at ensuring our university taking a leading place in terms of living systems in the Arctic climatic conditions, to improve the quality of life. And the third strategic project is digital, intellectual, and educational technologies to preserve and promote language and cultural diversity in the North and the Arctic. This project will ensure our university to hold leading positions in preserving and promoting language and cultural diversity. And I would like to encourage our colleagues from China, from Russia, to be very active in implementing our strategic projects. Thank you very much for your attention, and we're hoping for further cooperation. Thank you.
Нургун Романович, спасибо за ваше выступление. И с большим удовольствием слово предоставляем другу нашего университета, уважаемому товарищу Ли Yifan, профессору
Professor Li Yifan, professor of Harbin University of Technology, who is going to speak on the historical budget comparison for alpha and beta HCH in the Arctic Ocean, a modeling study.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So should I use my share screen? Okay, I cannot use my
Да, пожалуйста. Попробуйте еще раз. Please try once more time.
Okay. Yes. What happened? Let me try again. Can you see my slides?
Yes.
Unfortunately, no.
No?
No. We cannot see them.
That's
Please
very
try
strange.
more.
Okay. How about this time?
Нет, не видно.
No, we can't see the slides, unfortunately.
No, eh? That's okay. Can you show my PPT at your side, because you have my PPT already? So I don't know why I cannot.
Тогда, уважаемые коллеги, есть предложение для решения наших технических. No.
No. Okay, can you get my PPT at your side?
Что-то загружается.
Still no work, eh?
We can see something. Something is loading.
Что-то как будто хочет появиться.
Share. That's sorry. Okay. Can you open PPT at your side? Then I can, you know.
Да, мы пытаемся ее открыть на нашем компьютере.
Okay, we're trying to open it on our computer.
Please.
Yeah, wait a moment, please.
Sure, yeah, please. Thank you.
Коллеги, тогда у нас есть предложение, значит, докладчикам.
Dear colleagues, we have a suggestion so that all the presenters, please send your presentations to Nurgun Maximov so that we could show your presentation in case there are some technical issues. So please send them to Nurgun Maximov beforehand. And while we're setting up, Professor Yifan, let me give the floor to our next presenter, to Professor Shan Guanchun, Professor of Beijing University of Aeronautics and Astronautics. Could you please try opening your presentation, please? And the professor and the topic of the professor's report is Progress in China's Technology of Unmanned Marine Monitoring Systems and Construction of Emergency Safety Systems.
Уважаемый Шань Гуанцунь, вы на связи?
Dear Professor Shan Guanchun, are you with us?
Коллеги, ну у нас, видимо, есть очевидные какие-то,
So, dear colleagues, I think we have some technical issues with connecting with our colleagues from China. So for now, while we're working on it, let me give the floor to the participant from Russia, to Mikhail Ivanov. Mikhail, are you with us?
Михаил Витальевич.
Mikhail Vitalyevich, are you here?
So maybe I can ask my student to give the talk. How about that?
Уважаемый Yifan, ну вот пока эти минуты шли.
Okay, dear professor, we have just received your presentation. We're trying to open it. Unfortunately, 2 other participants could not join us, so now we have just enough time to open your presentation. Here we go.
Okay.
Dear Professor Li Yifan, can you see our presentation?
Yes, yes, very good. Yes,
Nice, excellent. Please, you're welcome.
Please.
Okay, so I can start my talk, right? Okay, yeah, first time I'd like to thank the Northeastern Federal University for inviting me to give this talk to report my work. And the co-author of this study is Pufei Yang and Professor Tony Nikolaev and me. And Yang and Li are from School of Environment, Harbin Institute of Technology, and Professor Tony Nikolaev is from Northeastern Federal University, Russia. Next one, please. Next, yeah, background, and the next one, please. Yeah, I'd like to give some background of this study. First, what is HCH? HCH is called hexachlorocyclohexane. It's an organochlorine insecticide used throughout the world and is classified as one of the POPs. And HCH has 2 technical grades, technical HCH and lignite. And the technical HCH has several isomers, including 6 to 70% of alpha HCH, 5 to 12% of beta HCH, 10 to 12% of gamma HCH, and the lignite contains almost the pure alpha HCH. Next one, please. Okay, we know that clarify sources and pathways of POPs to the Arctic have been major objectives of Arctic research and contaminant assessments. Alpha HCH and beta HCH have played an exceptional role in understanding the connections between sources and sinks for our POPs. Our POPs can be divided into 2 groups. One is called a flyer, represented by alpha HCH, entering the Arctic via long-range atmospheric transport. And the second one is called swimmers, represented by beta HCH, entering the Arctic via long-range ocean transport. Now we can see, although there are the 2 isomers of technical HCH, but these 2 chemicals, alpha HCH and beta HCH, are actually very different in terms of how they can get into the Arctic. Next one, please. We developed 2 models. One is called the Arctic Mass Balance Box Model version 1. We published this result in 2004. Almost 20 years later, this year, we developed the version 2, and we get the results and will be published soon in Environment and Science and Technology. this year. Next one, please. Methods. Okay. Next one. Next one, please. Okay. Now, we know that in order to study the pathways of POPs to get into the Arctic, we need 3 main elements study. The first one is the inventories, which give the sources of POPs. And the second one is monitoring to give the receptor of the POPs or sinks. And the models, just like a bridge to connect inventories and monitorings to answer how these POPs can get into the Arctic and other area. Next one, please. First one is emissions. We developed emission inventories for these 2 compounds. As shown in the figure, the blue cover is for alpha HCH and the dark red one is for beta HCH. They have the identical temporal trends, but of course the amount are different. Next one, please. Okay, this is monitoring data. We got the, okay, the left side is stations by AMAP. And the right one is from Russian stations. So all these give the monitoring data. Next one, please. So this table shows the difference in the comparisons of this model, version 1 and version 2. Of course, the version 2 is much superior than the version 1, but we cannot explain this in more detail. Next one, please. The version 2 divided the Arctic region in 2 zones. One is called the source zone, and another one is called the Arctic zone. In source zone is the outside of Arctic area. They have 3 major compartments: air, soil, and seawater. And in the Arctic zone, besides these 3 compartments, we also can consider the snowpack and the sea ice, because snowpack and the sea ice are very important in Arctic region. Next one, please. For the temporary design, in the source zone, we don't consider the difference in whole year for the 75 years, but in Arctic zone, we divided the whole year into 2 seasons. One is called the warm season from May to October, and the second one is called the cold season from November 1st to the April 30th the next year. Of course, the warm season and the cold season have different temperature, have a different snowpack coverage, and ice coverage. So different. Next one, please. This is mathematic equations in describing the different processes of the chemicals in source zone and in Arctic zone. Next one, please. Results. These 5 figures give the results for the concentration of beta HCH in different compartments in the Arctic. First one is in air. So the red cover is the results from our modeling. And the blue covers is published results by another model. They give the maximum range and the minimum range. So it's interesting to see our results is inside their range, and the blue dot are monitoring data. So you can see, and the dark shaded area is the area with 1 order of magnitude accuracy of the modeling result. So you can see our model can predict the concentration in air of beta HCH quite well. And the second one B is from ocean. The blue cover is our monitoring results, and also show our model can predict the results quite well. And the third one is soil. We don't have much result monitoring data for the soil, so you can see is just a few full data, right? But still can see is within our monitoring results within the 1 order of magnitude. And the snowpack, sea ice, there's no data in snowpack and just the one data in sea ice. It's also within 1 order of magnitude. Next one, please. This gives the burden of beta HCH in the Arctic Ocean. The bottom red is in the air compartment, and the blue is the seawater compartment, and the green is the soil compartment, and the purple is the sea ice compartment, and the orange is for snowpack. Because the mass in the snowpack is so little, so you cannot see from this figure. So one obvious result is showing that beta HCH, the majority of beta HCH has been in the Arctic Ocean. Next one, please. This figure also gives the burden as a function of year. So you can see the solid black line showing the burden of the beta HCH in Arctic Ocean, and the dashed red one is for loading, and the dashed blue cover is for removal from Arctic Ocean. So you can see that this year can be divided in 2 periods. One is called the accumulation period, AP in short, and another one is decreasing period, DP as a short, decay period. Okay, decay period. And so in the year of 1986, before 1986 is belong to AP, and after 1986 is belong to DP. Next one, please. This gives the budget of the beta HCH in the Arctic Ocean, and the first one is the total. So, and the second one is in AP period, and the third one is decay period. And the left blue bar is from removal, and the right red bar is for the loading. So you can see, we can focus on the loading side. So you can see the highest loading actually is from ocean currents. Is more than, for the AP period, is around 70%, and for the DP is more than 80%. Total is around 70%. So you can see why beta HCH is a swimmer, because the majority of beta HCH get into the Arctic Ocean has been through ocean currents. Okay, so this is why it's called a swimmer. Next one, please. Discussion. Next one, please. Okay, now we would like to compare the results for alpha HCH and beta HCH. Just as I said before, although these two compounds are identical isomers of technical HCH, but they behave very differently. So this table can show this difference very nicely. So you can see the first records gave the gas-ocean exchange, so which shows almost 60% of alpha HCH to get into the Arctic Ocean is from gas-ocean exchange, but only 10% for beta HCH. And we can look down for the ocean currents. To get into the ocean currents, only around 20% of HCH get into the Arctic Ocean through ocean current, but more than 70% of beta HCH get into the Arctic Ocean through ocean currents. So this is why alpha HCH called the flyer and beta HCH is called swimmer. Next one, please. So this shows the burden as a temperature, as a function of year. The beta HCH was shown before, but now we combine this for alpha HCH or also for beta HCH. The first thing is the turning point for AP to DP is 1984 for alpha HCH, but 1986 for beta HCH. So we can see beta HCH have around 2 years behind of alpha HCH. Why? The reason is because the majority of alpha HCH get into the Arctic through atmospheric current, which is faster. For beta HCH is from ocean currents, which is slower, right? So flyer is faster than swimmer. So this is why they have a delay, 2 years delay. Next one, please. These give re-emissions because you see when alpha HCH, beta HCH distribute in the whole world, they have in the soil, they have emissions. This gives the re-emissions. Next one, please.
我是在线上，我现在就在线上。对。
Okay, this one give predictions. So we consider two scenarios. One is scenario 1, which is keep these environment parameters as constant. The scenario 2 is we consider the climate change and global warming. So the results quite different. We found out that under the influence of climate change, the concentration of alpha HCH decreased by around 2% to 40, almost 50%. The concentration of beta HCH decreased by much less, 0.3% to 16%. In the future, the concentration of beta HCH will exceed that of alpha HCH in 2041 as a scenario 1 and 2036 as predicted by scenario 2. Next one, please. Conclusions. The model expanded and verified the factor of alpha HCH as the representative of the flyer and beta HCH as the representative of the swimmer. Two models, the MBBM2 in particular, can be used to study the pattern and fate of HCH in the Arctic Ocean. This model will be used to study the pattern of and fate in the Arctic Ocean for other POPs, PBDEs, for example. Okay, the next study is for PBDEs. Okay, next one, please. Okay, thank you very much for your attention. So if there's time, I would like to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much for a very interesting and for your very interesting report and presentation with the results of your research. Dear colleagues, уважаемые коллеги, есть ли у вас вопросы к докладчику?
If you have any questions.
Хорошо, говорим еще раз вам спасибо за очень интересный.
Okay, thank you very much for your very interesting speech. And now I give the floor to Ivanov Mikhail, Executive Head, Nature Protection Technologies Cluster, Bauman, Moscow State Technical University.
Слышно?
Да, слышно.
Dear colleagues, can you hear me? Yes, we can. Thank you so much. Please, one moment. I will set my presentation up.
Коллеги, как лучше мне, на русском или на английском?
Dear colleagues, how should I present?
If you can speak English, please, you're welcome.
Okay, then I will speak English. First of all, thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to speak to this event today. The presentations that were delivered before and specifically the one made by Yifan Li are very, very interesting, very scientifically rich, and give lots of thoughts how this can be improved and in our research activities. However, I will speak today not about that much research activities related to actions that are needed to reach carbon neutrality. And this presentation that I'm prepared today is aimed, first of all, to our international colleagues, like to with this presentation or this kind of cooperation in verification of carbon reporting and climate projects. I believe that you are quite familiar with all these activities and similar verification and validation of climate projects. But we are looking forward to moving to a global scale so that the projects that are implemented in Russia, implemented somewhere outside of Russia, would be validated by and verified by a Russian body, so that the carbon units would be counted also in Russia. Not we have created in Russia. In Russia was started an experiment that is aimed for creation of such verification and validation bodies. Bauman Moscow State Technical University is one of the participants.
Михаил Витальевич, извиняюсь.
Да.
Ваши слайды, вот стоит только заставка.
Я сейчас перелистнул, да.
То есть это такая задумка, да, спасибо. Извините.
I will move now. I will move on now. And we are such body, and I would like to talk a little bit on our expertise in this and how it is done in Russia and in our university in particular. So in Russia, for all kind of enterprises, in the last year, a set of specific national regulation has been taken in place, and these are the set of federal laws that describe the national Russian strategy for low carbon development by 2050. Within this strategy, by 2030, we have to reduce the greenhouse gas emissions by 70% compared to 1990. And in order to achieve this, all the companies have to comply with the IJRC regulations and register their carbon credits received during implementation of climate projects. This has to come up with the climate units markets, and this activity is already started, and it is expected that it will be fully in run starting next February or even January, so very soon. With over 150,000 tons of CO2 per equivalent per year, are obliged to reduce to count their emissions and to perform actions to reduce the a set of specific documents has been developed that are national documents, along with the international one like IJRC protocol. And that are emitting above 150,000 tons of equivalent of CO2, starting from 2023. So this is done. We started on the far east of Russian Federation in the Sakhalin region, which is the which is the frontier of Russian low carbon development, which has to achieve its carbon neutrality by 31st of December 2025. So just in 2 years, in 3 years, they have to become carbon neutral. So they run really, really fast, and they do a lot for this. Up to now, in the Sakhalin region, which is an island, already counted all the emissions of all enterprises. They are currently evaluating all the potential for carbon sequestration by the national ecosystems, and they are really they have implemented their own first climate projects. I will speak about it a little bit later. So in order to implement the climate project in Russia according to the national regulation, a set of measures have to be done to ensure a reduction of greenhouse gas emissions that result from economic and other activities in the climate project for the climate project executor. So these activities have to be validated and verified. So these are the two procedures that are performed by the bodies created in Russia, which are called gas emissions. As I said, Bauman Moscow State Technical University is one of such bodies. The logic of this activity is that once the project, the climate project, has been planned for implementation, a specific documentation has to be prepared, which includes the project itself with the calculation of the baseline of CO2 reduction, of CO2 emission, and the plan of CO2 reduction as a result of project implementation. This project, up to now it's on the paper, has to be proves that the project is calculated properly, that the baseline is calculated properly, and the estimated reduction is also calculated properly. And after this, the project can be implemented. Type of energy production has been replaced with some green energy production, or some forest action has been implemented, some kind of planting or whatever, and according to the project. And some results were as a result of the project implementation after 1 year or scheduled duration of the project. They have to be, as I said, put on the paper and verified by the body for verification of climate. Once verified, the location where the project was implemented has to check that everything according to the project was implemented, in fact, that everything was done properly, and the measurements that were made were action of greenhouse gas emission was they have to give the proper number of greenhouse gas emission that was achieved, and this number can be accepted by the already nation that is the units into rubles or whatever currency they exchange it for, so the exchange bureau. So we have already of many kind of climate projects. Many companies in Russia do really implement these climate projects. These companies often are quite huge, such as those who produce gas, metal, paper, food, and other basic material or stuff that are not only used inside Russia, but also go outside of Russia for export. And once they go for export, they, for the companies that do import the Russian goods from Russia, the carbon footprint they receive is the scope 3 of their companies. So for, let's say, for Chinese companies, this is a big sense to consider the carbon footprint of Russian companies that are selling something to China, as they will count the scope 3 of the Chinese production, for instance. And so, as I say, we do work and we do decrease in Russia our carbon footprint. And there are good examples and bad examples. Like the bad example is like the Russian aluminum company says that we are planting 1 million trees and commit ourselves to care for them. So this is our climate project. But we know pretty well that this is not a climate project. However, there are good examples of projects that were climate, could be counted as a climate, and were in fact climate projects, such as the compensation of tons of controlled emissions by FIFA during the World Cup held in Russia. So the verification procedure is preparation, planning of the verification process, and conducting the verification itself, and conclusion or refusal in the data that was processed. This is the slide, sorry, it's in Russian, but I will translate it into English with words. And this is the first climate project that was implemented in Sakhalin region, where they have replaced the old diesel power generation facilities with a new solar power station. It was not quite a big power station. It produced just 100 kilowatt of, but it was a good start to see how it can go, how it can run, and what is the economics that stands behind of such projects. So as I say, the climate project was company Dalenergy Invest, which is the energy company in Sakhalin region. The project was prepared by the same Dalenergy Invest company, and it was then validated, the climate project was validated by the Innopolis. Once the project was fully implemented by solar generation, it was verified by Bauman Moscow State Technical University. And all this was done within 1 month. After this, there were around verified stock in the carbon unit exchange platform, which is held by a Russian company called Contour. And as a result of this project, 20 carbon units were sold to the price for 1 unit was 1,000 rubles, 1,000 rubles per unit. So this is a good example. Among these, we can do more, but we would like to invite you to join us in this project. Thank you very much.
Михаил Витальевич, спасибо за интересный содержательный доклад.
Thank you very much for a very fruitful and interesting speech. And I would like to tell you colleagues once again about our time limit. So please keep to the time limit so we can finish by dinner. Mr. Shangguan Sun, please, the floor is yours.
Yes, I'm here. Yeah.
Отлично. Хорошо, тогда слово предоставляется
So
вам.
now we give the floor to you, and we are happy to listen to your speech on progress in Chinese environment marine monitoring and emergency system construction technology.
Okay, thank you.
Скажите, мы вам можем чем-то помочь для включения вашей презентации?
Can we help you in any way to show your presentation, PPT?
Okay.
Do you need any assistance?
Okay, I will share my PPT. Okay. Okay, yeah, it's my greater pleasure to give a talk on the advanced unmanned marine environment monitoring technology and emergency system. Okay, I'm Dr. Guangchun Shan from Beihang University at Beijing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. My talk will be divided 3 parts mainly. First of all, I'll give an introduction, and then I will give my main content about the one project, which is National Key Research and Development Project of China, which I have mainly involved in as a co-PI for to develop the unmanned intelligent system and monitoring technology for marine environment monitoring, security, and emergency system. Okay, and then I will draw a conclusion. Okay, yeah. So actually, there are 9 areas of strategy opportunities which have been highlighted by the by a strategy for American innovation, which were published by National Economy Council and the National Economy Council policy. The first important issue is about clean energy and energy efficient technology, actually. And actually, we humans need to sustain this movement through continue to build upon the green or clean energy in developing and deploying clean electricity technologies or by major foundations. And also we need to make energy go further through improve the energy efficiency and work to reduce carbon pollution while helping to improve energy security. And the second important area is smart city. Actually, the emerging community of the leaders, data scientists, technologists, and companies are joining forces to build smart cities that are building an infrastructure to continuously improve the collection, aggregation, and use of the data to improve the life of the city residents. So we need to harness the green data, big data resolution, low cost sensor, and also some research collaboration, promoting research collaborations, and doing so to protect the safety and privacy of residents in the cities. And the third area is educational technology, especially after the COVID-19 pandemic breakout. Yeah, we need to face. We need to have the online education technology, and yeah, it is poised to change from the traditional education form to the new education form, and the online teaching, online education technology is an urgent demand for the development of their advanced education technologies and transform teaching and learning to meet the situation that we are meeting after the breakout of COVID-19. And then the fourth area is advanced manufacturing. And actually, yeah, United States have they set their goal to want to, yeah, you know, not only the American innovation, and they also want to put back their want the production industry to back to United States, from China to back to United States, right? And then the sixth one is advanced vehicle. Actually, breakthrough development in sensing, computing, and data, big data, have brought vehicle-to-vehicle communication and cutting-edge AR technology feature into the commercial deployment, while the vehicle approaching the full L4 level autonomy. Self-driving cars are already being tested on public roads, especially in Beijing or in Shanghai, and accelerating the development and deployment of these advanced vehicle technology could save thousands of lives annually by applying the split-second reaction time and precision decision-making of the machine intelligence to more than 90% of their crashes involving the human errors. And then the seventh area is precision medicine. Actually, in China, we already want to our Chinese traditional medicine to combine this precision medicine, to treat the unwanted disease or the uncured disease, which is need a lot of money, and maybe we based on the Chinese traditional medicine, the potential for precision medicine could improve the care and the speed of the new drug, especially with the AI technology. The AI enable the drug development R&D would speed up the development of the medicine. So, and then the last one is the brain initiative. Actually, like the Human Genome Project, nowadays we also have the brain initiative, and we also have the Human Brain Project in China. We want to, help scientists and doctors to diagnose and treat diseases more incisively, and educate children more effectively, and develop novel technologies and devices to help to alleviate the burdens of their illnesses and the injuries. Okay, actually also the space technology. United States, Russia, and also China have set up their big goal in space, right? We want to want to live on Mars or on the moon, right? And these investments will create the foundation for space-faring civilization and a future human mission to Mars. Okay, and then all these I think will rely upon their computation. Okay, so the last area is the computing, new frontier computing. The advances in high performance computing have the ability to improve the public services and also improve the health and safety of our community and our smart city, and promote the scientific discovery. So yeah, now I move to the second part, which is I have been, the in charge of the one national key R&D project for the marine ecological environment monitoring security and emergency system for the Pacific Ocean, especially China Sea. Okay, so yeah, which were highlighted and limited. Was nominated by the for the APEC Science Prize this year. And actually, since we all know since the 2011, the nuclear power plant disaster, Fukushima accident disaster, caused a big disaster, right? And they will cause a very, very big disaster to our Pacific Ocean, right? Especially for all our human society, right? And they are very, very irresponsible. And in order to monitor the status of the marine radioactive environment rapidly and effectively, and to prevent and respond to the possible crises timely. In the past several years, we have been conducted this national key project R&D, and we study some new technology, not only for the material design to absorb and to enrich the radioactive nuclide, also to try to integrate the detection, the gamma ray detection system, and to monitor the radionuclides in the machine in the Pacific Ocean or in seawater. Yeah, we have developed different kind of, mainly three kind of the new materials to achieve rapid enrichment and detection for the radionuclide in the ocean, okay, in marine. And first class, first interesting material is the porous morph material, and the second one is some nanoporous hybrid material. And also we have developed another kind of, which is the so-called the zeolite or the natural porous material, and we try to do some modification of phenomenologication, and then we perform full detailed structure characterization, and also we perform the absorption mechanism analysis for the absorption or enrichment share of the nuclide by these different material, and then we try to optimize our material, and we make the nanoporous material, and we fabricated them into the module, and then we integrate all of them to build one machine or one instrument to achieve the rapid enrichment and detection for the radionuclides. Okay, and there are some different kind of material which can perform to act as the efficient absorbent of the radionuclide or the contaminants in the water, right? And for example, there are some some new material, some 2D, two-dimensional layer material, and also their 2D material based composite, especially the high porous hydrogel, can also show this excellent performance. For example, a large specific area, excellent hydrophility, hydrophilicity, and also the abundant active absorption site, which make them efficient absorbance of contaminants in the water. Okay, so actually in 2000, in 2017 and in 2018, we have developed some MOF, and we combine MOF and also the graphene oxide to form a new composite, membrane composite, with the so-called geo cobalt MOF membrane composite, to achieve high level or high efficient CS absorption. And this is the schematic of the mechanism of absorption reaction for this geo cobalt MOF composite membrane. They have, based on the physical absorption and also the hydrogen bond combined into interaction, so they achieve excellent absorption for the CS radionuclide. Okay, also we investigate different kind of the two-dimensional material, and we want to include molybdenum disulfide and also some silicon and statine. We achieve different kind of the absorption. And and last year and this year, we have also further developed one new non-porous material, the Maxine two-dimensional Maxine-based hydrogel, which is also a very, very excellent absorbance for the radionuclide. And also they are also suitable for some of the flexible tensile strength sensing, which is a multifunctional non-porous material. Okay, so actually, some scientists also develop this kind of hydrogel, which is a hot topic nowadays. And Sun's group developed a reputable and self-healable mineral hydrogel by stabilizing amorphous calcium carbonate with polymer additive, the ACC with PAA. The hydrogel can be used to an excellent carrier of framework for the functional material, especially for the absorbance for the radionuclide. Okay, and this such two-dimensional layer mixing had been demonstrated to have the potential in developing next generation functional material. And and we have developed this kind of mixing hydrogel material, which is highly conductive, stretchable, self-healable, and porous hydrogel material. Okay, and sorry. This is a cartoon of movie to show its stretchability. Okay, it's a very, very good hydrogel material with stretchable and self-healability. Okay, and we have fabricated into the sandwich tensile strength sensor. Okay, for the sensing application. And we have tested it in different regions and different different stretchability. Okay, and the sensitivity or the gauge factor GF actually are calculated, and they have showed a very good GF factor, and they also have very good sensitivity property and a large deformation range. And the sensor performance has no significant change in the frequency ranging between this and very low, even low frequency. And we also applied, or we also used this hydrogel material to perform the SR radionuclide absorption application. The removal efficiency actually very high, more than 80%. Okay, and for a quick conclusion, due to the limited time, actually we have fabricated the multifunctional hydrogel material with a stable cross-linked structure, which were prepared by us bio-inspired facile method, and such material based sensor, and also they showed excellent sensitivity, and still provide a sensitivity range for detecting tiny and large human motions. And such multifunctional hydrogel can also be used to remove the SR radionuclide from the aqueous solutions, and also from the seawater. Okay, and based on all these materials, we also assemble these materials into a module, and we also integrated them into an instrument to perform the radionuclide testing or the monitoring. We also used combine some AR technology to achieve the unmanned monitoring technology in order to monitor the radionuclide disaster caused by the Fukushima nuclear power plant accident. Okay, so I think that's all for my talk. Okay, yeah, thank you for everyone.
Спасибо за ваш доклад.
Thank you so much for your report. Shan Guan-sun, could you please stop your presentation?
Okay, thank you. Any questions?
Видимо, вопросов нет.
Okay.
I think we have no questions. So we thank you one more time, and please turn your presentation off. And now I would like to give the floor to Xiaofeng Ma, Deputy Director, Beijing University of Chemical Technology, Environment and Energy, with the report on environment and policy choice of the East Asia Cooperation.
Okay, thank you. It's my honor to participate in this conference. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Да, слышно. Единственное, мы просим коллег, вот у нас осталось 2 доклада. По
We ask our
возможности.
colleagues, we have 2 reports. Please keep to the time limit.
Спасибо за понимание.
Thank you for your understanding.
Thank you. It's my great honor participating this conference. My team participate this conference. There is He Yan, Wu Chen, Yang Xuemei, Zhu Ming, Zhu Yongbei, and Hu Yanfei. Our research is environment and energy. Public policy trials in the process of East Asia regional cooperation. Our research is regional cooperation in East Asia is different from EU integration. It is possible to appear similar to political and economic organizations at the Yifan nation organizations. According to EU experience, it can bring some illumination to East Asia region. It is one of first considerations that East Asia as a whole to face the world. Meanwhile, a system of current activities of the forms must be set up by the long step by step. There must be an appropriate legislative frameworks for East Asia region cooperation. The subject is to explore the structural transformation of international political relationship in the era of globalizations through the region governors' perspective of the process of European integration and to introduce the revolution of the relations forms among nations in the international society. Where research may contain as the possibility of East Asia integration and European Union impacts on regional cooperation in East Asia, such as about one possibility of East Asia integration. We know in 21st century, economic globalization and the regional global organization has become the trade of global economic development. With the acceleration of the global economic integration process, the economic ties between the countries and the regions in the world become even closer. The regional global economic competition and comparison has become increasingly intensified. As one of the most seemingly active regions in the world after World War II, East Asia is a most strengthened regional organizations of its, and the moments of cooperation in all regions is stronger. Meanwhile, compared with the well-developed European Union, East Asia region is in warfare. So, economic globalization affects regional cooperation. The prominent limitation for nation-state actors in the system of traditional international relationship orders with the rise of governance issue of public affairs in the economic globalization. Facing more and more transnational problems that one country cannot solve by itself, how to cooperate with each other, passing the short-term interest in pursuit is a basic starting point of problems for our research. The traditional relationships formed among nation states is mainly constructed with the value and the interest core of modern union of state actors. In the international society organizations by the state unit one by one, the relationship among states is mainly determined by the competition among states through the structure and the power with the foundation of states' military and economic manufacturers. Therefore, the military and the security value becomes the main content in the distribution area of international value. Under this background, from the progress of European integration to study formation, roles, and methods. That may component of mountain-level rigid governance. The collective form of mountain-level rigid governance built up together by European nation-state actors. The rigid governance of European has set up a developing out approach for mountain countries with a direction of rigid market economic and social political adjustment in a common policy. The basic interaction patterns and the relationship patterns in different integrating steps among 4 European countries, mainly reflected from legalizative instructions and the operations of rigid organizations. So under the inconference of common agricultural policy, refactor for international trade and economic relations of state. In this part, tries to analyze and explore the inner restructure of economic and trade relations among European nation-state actors and also the negotiation trade of multi-actors in rigid governance and a regional institutional framework where the perspective cause of European common agricultural policy. And the European Union model impacts on rigid cooperation in East Asia. This includes, first, economies of East Asia are diverse and heterogeneous in terms of economic systems. Second, members of East Asia are also diverse in political system and in cultural and religious traditions, without a history of political integration under a hegemonic power. Third, the region needs to maintain openness to the rest of the world, particularly North American and European, which remain important as markets for final products and the source of the risk capital and innovation idea. For negative effects of channel trade, the consequences of China's economic development for the West and the United States in particular are being closely watched, but the impact of China's growth for its neighbors is no less important. Over past decades, North Asia economies that are held on the economic value chains like Japan, Taiwan, and South Korea has benefited from China's low and manufacturing structure. Meanwhile, Southeast Asia economies more closely responding China and offering similar comparative advantages, has often found themselves out explained more recently by their much larger neighbor. European government is not sporadic institution arranges, but a set of comparatively systemic institutional framework, which is those countries' response to the economic globalization. And the third, this part of the effectiveness of European Union cooperation systems, inspiration and the influence of political force under the current growth ecological environment. Environment policy is one of the most important and far-reaching area of EU legislation. The EU is leading the authority in this area with up to 18% of legislation of the environmental affairs estimate to come from the EU. However, characteristics of EU environmental policy question the effectiveness of some measure, arguing that the cost of comparing with those regulations levels your business on compatibility, especially in the fact of increased competition from countries such as China and India, which do not have such strict environmental rules. The first part is the Asia crisis, the influence by EU energy policy of East Asia region cooperation. Third part is the unique role of channel transportation management policy in the process of set up the energy system, and has been in the bottleneck of homogeneous distribution of energy since even this history. Studies the role of Chinese transportation and the construction significance not only the fitting of deployed connection with energy development, but also the prediction for the Chinese energy policy. So this research is aimed to study from the energy strategy and the transportation policy background to analyze the challenging and the situation, comparing with international experience, then go to the measure of energy strategy and the transportation policy with Chinese conditions. So this is under my team's research. Thank you very much.
Большое спасибо за ваше выступление.
Thank you very much for your presentation, for your report. And dear colleagues, now I would like to give the floor to our last presenter. The floor is given to Kirill Vinnikov. Mr. Vinnikov, are you with us? Yes, I am here. I hope you can hear me well. Yes, we see you. We can hear you perfectly well. So, dear colleagues, the floor is given to Kirill Vinnikov, Director, World Ocean Institute, Far Eastern Federal University, with the report on sustainability of marine coastal ecosystems of Kamchatka Peninsula under active natural and anthropogenic impacts. Mr. Vinnikov, the floor is yours.
Good day, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
My research, not just mine, but from my research team. My name is Kirill Vinnikov. I am a director of the Institute of the World Ocean at the Far Eastern Federal University. And today I would like to show you our project that we are doing for the last 3 years since 2020 about what are the anthropogenic and natural factors influencing the marine ecosystems in Kamchatka. Our university, Far Eastern Federal University, is located quite far from Kamchatka in the Russian Far East, but much southern. We are very close by to China and Korea, and we are doing a lot of different research projects, and we have a lot of students in our university, more than 20,000. We have more than 1,000 international students. And because we are a federal university, we are also interested in what's going on in all other areas in the Russian Far East, including Kamchatka. That's why we are doing some interesting observations and like research management in Kamchatka, together with their research institutions and their universities. And our most interest is concerned about the marine water areas nearby Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky, which is the capital of Kamchatka. And in 2020, there was an interesting event located in the valley of volcanoes. So if you know Kamchatka, there are many volcanoes. And in this area, there was a massive disaster caused by harmful algae in the water area. And in the same area, there was a school of surfing. It's named Snow Wave Kamchatka. And many tourists from all over the world came there to enjoy the winter surfing and enjoy the good weather, the nice views, and doing their vacation there. And the problem was that at the time of September 2020, many of those guests and locals had very strange symptoms like eye redness, eye itching, severe skin irritation. Some of them lost the eye vision at all, and many other symptoms that were very, very unusual. And some people were even didn't have any contact with marine water. So, and we were invited by Kamchatka government to investigate these events, like these symptoms, and to find what is going on there. So what we found is that there were many dead animals as well on the beaches, and we were very interested in what was the cause of those strange things. So we found that there were more than 10,000 dead specimens located on the beach, including invertebrates, and there were even some marine mammals. And on the left, you see sea urchins that were damaged more than others, and almost all sea urchins in the near shore were like just disappeared. So they were very, very severely damaged. So here you can see the video that shows the color of the water and the very unusual foam that was on the surface of the water. And we first thought that this is only for one location in the valley of volcanoes. But then we took the helicopter and went for the hundreds of kilometers and saw that this was the thing that covered almost all the southeastern coast of Kamchatka. Like hundreds and hundreds of kilometers were like this. And you see that the foam was very thick and the color was very unusual. So the thing is that when all the citizens of Kamchatka saw this foam, and many investigators, research teams were trying to understand what's going on there. So, and from satellite images, you can also see that the color of the water was very, very unusual in this area. And what we did, we organized expedition, and we still do these expeditions every year, trying to understand what was the cause of this event and what were the consequences to marine ecosystem and marine environment in Kamchatka after that huge event. So the main thing is that we understood immediately that these severe damage to people and to marine ecosystems was caused by the small little algae, which is unicellular algae. It's called Carenia, and it has the massive blooming at that time. And during this blooming, it produced a very strong toxin that affect people and marine animals. Also, because of this blooming and reproduction of this algae, almost all oxygen on the depths about 20 meters disappeared. So the organisms like some fishes and invertebrates died just because they couldn't breathe. So every year we are organizing the expeditions to the southern of Kamchatka and collecting several making several surveys for collect underwater animals and see how they're feeding these days after like several years. Sorry for the noise. So we collect dead animals, we collect live animals, and we also collect the unicellular algae in this area and trying to understand what was the cause of their blooming and why they appeared there. And we also trying to estimate different parameters of the water to see what could be the human impact on this thing. We also investigate the content of different pollution in the water and in the organisms, besides the toxin that produced by the marine algae. That's why we also went to the rivers and see what is the state of the rivers and the nearby soils and see maybe something was produced and get into the ocean through the river. And we found that there were several good indicators of the good quality of the water in the rivers, but there was no such sign in the marine environment. So we took several surveys in different bays in Kamchatka. And here is the map of the scuba diving surveys. And you see that we covered almost all the area of southeastern Kamchatka, and there was one survey in the western Kamchatka, and we found that there is a very serious difference between what was before in these areas and then what was left after the massive algal blooming. And you see that almost all the sponges, almost all the invertebrates disappeared. So this diagram shows the same area, same place, and the difference is just one between left and right. And then when we see the photos that were made by scuba divers, you see that almost all animals just disappeared. There were only some algae left, and that's all the surface of the bottom was empty or covered with dead animals. By the way, today the picture is quite different. There were many new organisms live there, but it's just recovering, and it takes a long time to recover all the systems. So we took the animals and we searched them for toxins, and some of them included toxins produced by algae. So that's how we identified the causation of their death. And we see that different groups of marine organisms were damaged differently. Like sea urchins disappeared totally, but pythons were affected like 50-50 and so on. Like some animals were feeling much better than the others. And some of them were not affected at all, like those mollusks like bivalves that were on the seashore, or fishes that could swim away from the disaster. But some places were just covered with dead organs, like you see on this picture. And this was found in the western part of Kamchatka, like months after the same thing was described in the eastern coast. So it means that the territory and the area covered with this mass die-off was quite big. Interestingly, that marine mammals were not affected by this harmful algal blooming. So today we are taking some samples and trying to investigate if they accumulate the toxins. But according to the data, they're still feeling quite good. And our satellite images that we're doing this analysis show that we can predict this event, and we are working right now on the model that could investigate these things and say what can when they can happen and what are the parameters of the environment that could produce such strong disasters. Here you can see on the left the image of the chlorophyll content nearby Kamchatka in 2019, and then 1 year after, you see a quite increase, like a very strong increase in chlorophyll content, showing the massive algal blooming there. So we now think that there is a complex of different environmental factors that can cause such strong disasters, like seawater temperature, the salinity, the pH, and the weather conditions can produce such good conditions for massive algal blooming. And don't forget that the Kamchatka is a place with volcanoes, and most of those volcanoes are active and produce some fog that could also be the biogens for algal blooming. So as a summary, we found that Kamchatka marine ecosystems are quite vulnerable for environmental change during the harmful blooming. And these can cause huge mortality of different groups of marine organisms. So we proposed to organize the special monitoring program for marine ecosystems, which is now supported by the Ministry of Education and Science in Russia and by government of Kamchatka. And in this program, we also propose to develop some environmental monitoring station for marine ecosystems to do the medical service automatically, not like we do right now, to use the ROVs, and one part of our team is creating special drones, water drones and ROVs for observing marine ecosystems to see what's going on there. And some laboratories in our institution also produce diagnostics express test systems, so we can take the water control and see what's going on there in like a couple hours. So the last, I would say that we are also doing special oceanographic models that will be used to predict such events from space. And we can see that this thing can work, as I showed you on some previous slides. So thank you for your attention, and thank you. It's a great honor for me to participate in this forum, and I think that together we can study Arctic region and help to save the Arctic. Thank you.
Кирилл Андреевич, спасибо за ваше выступление.
Thank you very much, Kirill. And we ask you to turn off your screen demonstration. Dear friends, the plenary session of the second forum of the Association of Sino-Russian Technical Universities on Arctic research is coming to a close. And on behalf of all the organizers of this forum, I would like to thank all the participants and speakers for their interesting reports, and I hope that your research will make a great contribution to ordinary people and to the sustainable development. Yifan, please, a few words.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Dmitry. I'm so honored to can attend this session, special session. And thank you so much. I hope we can meet again in the third Arctic Forum. Thank you.
Уважаемый Yifan, большое вам спасибо.
Dear Yifan, thank you very much for your kind words. And dear friends, I want to remind you that tomorrow, November 30, we're going to have 4 different sessions of our forum. And for the participants who are in Yakutsk, the sessions will take place on university campus at Tochka Kipenia co-working space. And they're going to start at 1400 hours Yakutsk time. For our friends from other parts of Russia or other countries, we ask you to join us tomorrow using the Zoom URLs that we have sent you earlier. Thank you very much. Thank you to Sergey Valerievich.
Да, мы здесь.
Sergey
Спасибо, очень интересные
Yes,
доклады.
we're here. Thank you very much. Please, a few words from you.
Я, как и все участники, думаю, что
As all
выражу
the participants, I
такое
think that I
удовлетворение
can
тем, что
express
услышал. Интересные
this
доклады,
gratitude
серьезные
and
исследования,
satisfaction from what
много
I
общих
heard today.
вопросов.
There were many
И
interesting
очень хорошо, что
reports and very
вот наш
interesting
форум
research.
сегодняшний, он еще
Many
даст
general
возможность
issues were
людям
discussed,
познакомиться,
and it's very good
вместе
that this forum is
формировать
going to
какие-то
give all of
исследования,
us
совместные публикации.
opportunity to get to
Я
know
думаю,
each other,
что
to get
очень хорошо
acquainted,
начало
to
форума.
make some joint
Мы
publications
передаем
and
всем
so
привет
on.
и успехов.
And
Спасибо.
wish you all success. Thank you. Thank you very much. And please tell us, Gudzian Jin, are you here? Oh, probably he's not here. So, dear colleagues, our day is over for today. Thank you all for taking part in this plenary session, for your interesting reports. Stay safe. I wish you all good health, and I will see you tomorrow at our sessions. Goodbye. Have a nice day.